Hey everybody, welcome back to another iiRcade Game Days. I'm your host, Michael, executive producer here at iiRcade. Welcome back, happy Friday. It's good to be back. Like I said, we were gonna do a live show this week. I said I would, I'm doing it. We got some fun stuff coming up today too. It is just me today, so don't get your hopes up about that stuff. I'm not bringing on a special guest, unfortunately, so it's sad. I know, it's sad times when I'm solo alone. It's okay though, it happens sometimes too. People gotta work, I've also gotta work, so it is what it is. All right. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Hope some of you might have already started your weekend, I hope, but we'll see. It's getting chilly over here in Chicago. It's very cold, very rainy, very windy, as always in the Windy City. So yeah, it's fun. We're bundling up now too. Maybe soon I'll start coming on with fun costumes for Halloween. Who knows, right? All right. We'll do some Q&A and things like that. So let's see. No new games yet on the store, right? So of course, everybody's been asking me about games for a little while now, right? So what do we got up our sleeves today? We'll get to that, right? Let's go into some Q&A quick first, though. I'll take a couple questions and stuff like that, too. There's a couple hundred of you, which is awesome. So welcome if you're a newcomer. Glad to see you. Welcome back, everybody else, too. I'm all over the place today. Don't worry. Let's see here. Soul Blade Cab. I know you want a Soul Blade Cab. We'll see. We'll see if I can ever do that, right? Okay. I'm pumped to have some beer. I'm not having beers with MCAP tonight, so I don't really know. It's next weekend. Question, what's the buzz about today? I don't know. We'll have to find out still, right? I guess I can just, get to that first and foremost. We can talk about that, huh? Because that makes sense. So we got a handful of games here for you too. Kind of out of my left field, which is kind of awesome. Sometimes I like it. These are arcade classic retro games here too, spanning from 1988, I believe, to 1990 on the dot, or 1992. We'll find out. So they're a newer-ish age of arcades, right? So they're in that breadth of the span there too. Let's get my video up here too, and that'll do better explaining, It's fun. I make videos for a reason so that I don't have to talk because I'm terrible at talking, right? So here we go. Without further ado, here's some new games coming your way very soon. All right, there you have it. Yeah, so we got 4 different TAD Corporation games coming at you, right, from 1988 to 1992, right? So we got Blood Rose, we've got Cabal's probably one of the most famous ones too, along with Toki, and then of course we've also got Heated Barrel, right? Not to be confused with Heavy Barrel, which we also have. Now we have Heated Barrel as well too. So Heated Barrel, Heavy Barrel, fun. But yeah, so 2 Cowboy games, one game for military, and then the other one is, of course, a kooky platformer, Toki, right? So Toki is a fun one. We'll get into that a little bit later on here, too. Yeah, heavy hitting home runs. They're fun. They're fun. I like these games a lot, too. So these are actually 4 games that I only knew 2 of them originally too when we first signed these. So I was kind of excited to see some new games that I had just not experienced before too. And after playing them, I can say that they're all pretty solid arcade titles, right? Especially for their different styles, right? So a lot of you might have played Alligator Hunt on our system already too. 2 of the games, Cabal as well as Blood Bros, will play sort of similar to that, right? Whereas you're controlling sort of a cursor and an aim, crosshairs, if you will, that goes across the screen with the joystick, as well as then you're going to roll and then you're going to just fire on nonstop, as well as you can throw bombs. Toki's a little bit different. It's, of course, a platformer. It's 2 buttons, just A and B, so super simple on that one. However, the complexity in that game for the levels is what really makes it challenging, right? So, and then on top of that, we've also got Heated Barrel, right? So Heated Barrel is a 2-player currently, potentially 4-player Cowboy game, right? So Cowboys and Indians, great. Can I still say that? I don't even know anymore. Great, but yeah, so that's like a run and gun kind of shooter, action kind of game too. You can fire in all 8 directions. You can also put yourself into a barrel and blow up with a giant TNT. Tons of other fun mechanics too, tons of quirkiness to it. It's a fun game that I honestly had not even known too much about too until we signed it. And so I'm really stoked to have it on the system now too, because it's a really fun arcade game. So yeah, let's go. Questions about the games. I can answer tons of them now because now I've played through all of them, which is great. Okay. New online games today. So Hollywood Polo, hold on to your hats on that one. I'll get to that. Okay. But yes, I did promise at least some online games. I think I said online games. It might be 1 online game today, so I might have lied a little bit. So sorry about that. But we'll get to that question a little bit later. Cabal, yes, Cabal. Let's see here. 2 games can easily be adapted to light guns. So probably not light guns necessarily. However, they could be adapted to something like a trackball, right? So we'll see on that. No promises yet, but stay tuned on that kind of stuff too. Yeah, I can answer a lot of questions about these games today. They're officially announced. I know it's happening. We'll talk a little bit more about them too. They do all have global leaderboards except for Heated Barrel, as well as online play. They will all play online as well too, right out the gate. Heated Barrel is the only one out of those 4 that does not have the capacity currently, at least for us, to do to pull the right files to do the leaderboard system. So we'll see about later on down the road potentially, but at least out the gate, all the other games are going to have leaderboards, as well as they all 4 do play online currently. Yep, it's already been tested. Aha. Question. Any way to turn off the marquee light on sleep mode? So if you do have a gold edition, you can actually turn on and off the marquee light in the settings, right? So if you didn't already know to, in your settings, you go to advanced settings, then you'll see an option for marquee and you can turn it on and off, right? If you're asking if there's a functionality that we can put in essentially to just automatically turn it off when you put it into sleep mode, maybe. It doesn't currently exist. Not a bad idea though, right? But yes, you can always turn on and off the marquee in the gold editions whenever you want in the settings. Settings, advanced options, marquee. Let's see. What other questions can I take right now? Yeah, let's go. Tad Corporation game questions. Let's go. There's got to be more than this. I know you all don't know these games. Some of you do. Are these coming out today? Shoe Shine. Stay tuned. I don't have, whoever's asking me, I don't have a pink Starburst. I do actually have a blue Jolly Rancher though, so take that as you will. I have a whole bucket of candy that I got at the office for Halloween, of course, or Halloween time. That's not Halloween yet, but it's spooky season. It's here, right? So we got a whole cauldron back over there. I've actually do have apple cider Keurig pods, which is kind of cool. Let's see here. Question. Wow, you guys are quiet on questions today too. Just comments. Just comments. That's it. That's all I get. No questions. We'll talk about when these are coming out. Don't you worry. I'm going to skip over that for now too, as well as online games, right? All right. Well, there's no questions on them. I'm going to go over each title individually. So here we are. Stick around. Find out about these games, right? So let's first start with, let's see. We'll go down in alphabetical order, right? So we'll start with Blood Bros. If I can actually find my video for Blood Bros, right? It's great. Super prepared. There we go. All right. All right. So this is Tag Corporation game. This is Blood Brothers, right? So you can play as 2 different characters in this, right? The Cowboy, the Indian, Native American. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Don't hate me, please. I'm so sorry. Yes, indigenous peoples. So yeah, it's a great Western themed game too. So if you like this style of game, it is, again, if you played Alligator Hunt, it's gonna play very similar. You can shoot everything with your A button. You can roll with B, and then with C, you can also, or I'm sorry, yeah, no, B is roll, and then C is actually gonna be your like grenades and stuff like that too. Your extra TNT, I think, in this game. So yeah, so it's a 3-button game. Tons and tons of fun, quirky levels. Tons of different stuff going on too, of course. There you go, getting through it too. And my favorite part of the game is right here. The dances at the end, right? The two-step a little bit here. I don't even know if you want to call it two-step, but the high kicks, whatever you want to call it. It's my favorite part of all these tag games. They have that nice quirky charm into it too, like all arcades should, in my opinion. So there you go. This is your first game that's coming at you right now too, is Blood Bros, right? So not released yet. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about it a little bit later, right? This game, of course, will, again, have online leaderboards for Blood Bros, as well as online gameplay. So they do both work currently, they're functionally. So whenever this game does release, still, you know, a few things to work on sometimes, but beyond that, whenever this game does release, it will come with global leaderboards and online player out of the gate, so you can do all that. Awesome. Blood Bros plays exactly like Wild Guns. Pretty close. Yeah, it does play pretty close to Wild Guns too. By the way, I've added my cats back for the year, in case you didn't remember from last year. They're back in. All right. Let's go on to our next game. So yeah, so there you go. So the first title, Blood Bros, right? So Blood Bros, great. I love this game so much, actually, too. It's this, dare I say, it is actually my favorite game in the list, which is fun. Second game, of course, is a cult classic, especially Cabal, right? So Cabal is probably one of the most famous Tag Corporation games. Tadashi is actually what Tad's named after, right? So yes, Cabal is, what do you call it? So very similar to Blood Bros. However, Blood Bros came out after Cabal, right? This was one of the first titles. So it is, again, it's that same aim style cursor shooting. It is 3 buttons as well too. So this one is A to shoot, it's B to launch your grenades, and then C is actually roll in this game too. Rolling is very important in these games, by the way, too. Dodge, up, dip, dive, and dodge. I mean, it's super important. There's that fantastic dance, of course, too, because that's the way that you exit the scene and go on to the next level no matter what. So, yeah, literally the best part about this game, too, I like that you can literally blow up everything, right? So you see that building, you can blow it up. You see that tree, you can probably blow that up too. That rock, probably also. That brick wall over there, you can absolutely blow up the brick walls. The tanks, the Jeeps, the Humvees, the people, yeah, you can blow it all up. It's great. So it's a great game to just kind of chill, relax, and just kind of spam some buttons. But it does get really, really tedious a little bit and troublesome. It's a very challenging game in the later levels. Again, that roll button is optimal, right? All right. Any questions on Cabal? No? All right, moving right along then. Easy enough. Let's see, next game in alphabetical order, right, is Heated Barrel. So Heated Barrel, very different game too, right? So it's an 8-directional shoot 'em up, kind of a shmup, kind of an action game, bit of both, right? So you could argue this is a shoot 'em up, why not, right? All you're doing is running and shooting, right? And it is horizontal, constantly scrolling. You can fire into those windows to unlock bonus things, get extra points, things like that too. Pick up tons and tons of different power-ups and things. Yeah, the speed power-up is the best power-up in this game. Just gonna put that out there right now too. The 2-star power-up there too, if you sell the 2-star, that makes you fire instead of with 1 gun, 2 guns, double hatchets, whatever you're doing, right? This game actually did come in a 4-player variant. So while I'm not promising that right now too, we are potentially looking into putting this as a 4-player game for online, since we've announced 4-player online gameplay, right? Between 2 machines simultaneously, at least right now. Yeah, so we'll see if we can get that working properly. This game's, you know, things are still in the mix a little bit right now too, but we'll see if we can get that 4-player working for you guys a little bit, right? So that'll be fun. This is the one game on the list that does not have global leaderboard functionality, unfortunately. It's okay though. It does have online play though, which does work clean right now with 2 players, which is great. Again, this is Heated Barrel. Heated Barrel is fantastic. The characters in this one, their characters in all the games, honestly, are just fantastic. So they're really good. All right. Let's take this one off the screen. So that's Heated Barrel right there. And then, of course, without further ado, our 4th and final one from Tad is going to be Toki, right? So Toki's a pretty famous platformer. So you play as a dude. I don't even know that he has a name. I could be wrong in that. But you could transform into Cursed by a Wizard and become an ape, Toki, right? So you become Toki. And then beyond that, you're trying to save the princess, right? Kind of the princess. It's your girlfriend. You know, not clear lines in this game necessarily, right? So beyond that, though, this is a 2-button platformer. It's jump and shoot, man, right? That's how it goes. But there are tons of different power-ups, too. You'll see, probably in this video as well, too, you'll see the football helmet for, doing different things. The fire power-up, which you can see is breathing fire right now, too. But yes, plenty of different types of gameplay in this. And again, this one's more about not the controls of the game, but the actual levels themselves are the challenge, right? So it's a great platformer. Oh, is he going to die? He's going to make it. Okay, zombie apes. There we go. All right. So this is Toki. And Toki, again, Toki is not a 2-player simultaneous game. It is trade-off. However, it technically is online, so we have put it online. But keep that in mind, this is the only game that's not simultaneous 2-player in the list. It is trade-off if you are doing 2-player. So, it's kind of a solo game. But you can compete against scores. This is it's a global leaderboard game, as well as it does have online, even though it is 2-player non-simultaneous. So keep that in mind for Toki. There's my football helmet. Okay, I was waiting on that. Yeah, so Toki's a great platformer that we have now too, which will be, available when it's available on the system, right? All right. Any game announcements? We just did 4 games announced. Yes. All right. Any questions on these Tad Corporation games that I can answer? Again, Blood Bros, Cabal, Heated Barrel, and Toki. So coming at you very shortly, soon enough, right? I know soon enough's not always soon enough. Okay, did I miss any questions here? It's mostly comments today. Okay, interesting, guys. Let's see here. I can't comment on other licenses, of course. As always, I cannot tell you what else is coming down the road currently, right? It's just how it goes. It's nature of the beast. We do sign NDAs for reasons, right? Let's see here. Let me see here. An issue. I can fix this one, I think, here. Okay, my name isn't showing up on the leaderboard since my gold cabinet. I emailed contact@iiRcade. Okay, I'm sure they've probably responded. I've never seen them not respond before. That is my team. Well, we'll check. We'll check the email. Is there anything else you can do? Yeah, so what we were finding actually the other day, it seems like for people using the app and stuff, uninstall the app entirely, reinstall the app, and then log in again. And the machine should hopefully register. Make sure that you are logged in on the machine itself, the device here behind me. Make sure you're logged into the same account. You log in at iiRcade.store. That'll bring you iiRcade.store. If you type it in your browser on an Android phone, it will pop up with the app. Download the app. If you have the app currently, uninstall the app, reinstall the app. If you are on a browser, clear the data on the browser, close the browser down, open it back up, then go to iiRcade.store, log in again. The machine should appear. But yes, that's what we found the other day with one machine. It's a rare thing, but it does happen. But yeah, currently my advice. But yeah, we'll see. CS should be with you. Let's see here. What other things can I answer? Shushan, I'm not answering this question. I will put this up, but I'm not answering that. When will these new games release? Well, Steve, I have some good and some bad news actually too. I am going to tell you when these games are going to release. I'm going to tell you when all 4 of these games are going to release actually. I'm going to let you know soon. Let's see here. Other questions. Questions about these games, gameplay, game mechanics, stories. Let's see here. Yes, there's almost not a game that you guys mentioned, by the way, in any forums and things that I haven't seen before or haven't talked to probably a year or 2 before you, honestly, which is fun. But keep them coming. It's okay. Question, will the glass work on the gold edition? Yes, the screen size is the exact same. I find that the glass, it's that glass behind me, actually fits a little bit more snugly on the gold editions just because of the way that the speaker grills and everything are put together. But technically speaking, it's the same size, yes. So yes, the glass is universal between both the standard edition model and the gold edition model. So if you pick one up, yeah, it fits just fine. I just think that it fits sort of better on the gold edition. I'm not sure why it fits tighter on there. There's really no reason for it because they're the same scale. But there you go. Let's see here. Other questions that I can get to you today. We can have a short day. I don't need to be here for forever, honestly. It's great. Any wrestling games on the horizon? We have one of the ultimate wrestling games, Retromania Wrestling. Okay. I cannot speak on other wrestling games currently. When is the glass be shipped? Interesting phrasing on that, Nix. Glass goes out right away. It's actually shipped right here in Chicago from our offices, so we take care of that from here. So yeah, so if you do order glass, it goes out. It's not at our warehouse. It's actually right here in the office. So we actually keep that in a room here. So yeah, get shipped from here. Just whenever FedEx decides to show up and pick it up. It's great. We put the order in, but sometimes they take a couple days until they actually pick it up. It's fun. But yeah, so glass does ship right away. The moment we receive the order, we ship it out that same day. Yeah, it usually makes it there once it actually is picked up by FedEx. It usually makes it there in 2-3 days. As long as you're in the US, if you're going to Canada, add 2 days, if that. Let's see. Halloween games coming out this month. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what other games are coming out this month. I'm going to tell you that all 4 TAD games will be coming out at some point. All right. Gordon, I can't talk about games that we can't talk about yet. So there you go. Any other questions on these games? If not, we'll keep it a short show. I don't have to be here for forever. It's great. It's easy. I can answer any other questions. I'll take like maybe 3 more questions, and then we'll call it a day, honestly. I don't need to hold you up for too much longer, too. There's still one more thing I gotta take care of before we leave, but beyond that. 200 of you watching and not a single question in my chat that I can answer. Wow. That is not a question about a game that I can't talk about, right? Will there be a big game sale for Xmas? Holiday game sale like last year? I don't know. You'll have to stay tuned to find out on that kind of stuff. You will know. You will know if we do one. I guarantee you'll know. But yes, I cannot talk on that currently if there will or will not be a holiday game sale. Yeah, so I would not hold out for that if that's what you're waiting on. But if you are, feel free. Oh, Shoeshine, are we getting a fun, spooky themed attract mode video soon? So when I change today's attract mode, very soon, it is spookier themed. It's sort of our newer take on spooky this year too. But will you get like a very specific spooky one? Maybe. I actually thought about that, doing like a very exclusive sort of attract mode for Halloween just for fun this year. Maybe. It really comes down to, do I have the time? The answer is probably not. However, it is on my mind, so maybe. We'll see. But we'll keep some, we'll definitely do some more spooky themed sort of game modes on there, especially too, right? We got Rising Hell, we got Cowboy and stuff we already showed off last week too, and Night Slashers, of course. The best zombie, werewolf, vampire arcade game of all time, Night Slashers, just so you know. But there's plenty more in the hopper that we have too. There's plenty of spooky themed kind of games too. I mean, even like Evil Land and stuff does have the autumn levels. So there's fun stuff to show off, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see about that though. I would like to do a very scary kind of attract mode for Halloween time, yeah. We'll see. And of course, who knows, maybe the Yule log will make an appearance again for the holidays this year. Will we be adding more Laserdisc games? I can't talk on games that I can't talk about, right? Unless we've announced a Laserdisc game that I don't know about, which we haven't, because I would know. Can't talk about. There's not a whole lot of Laserdisc games in existence, though, right? There's maybe what? Sub 10. I could be totally wrong on that, but that sounds correct to me. There's like less than 10 Laserdisc games in existence, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in my chat. Spam my chat if I'm wrong. Let me know how many Laserdisc games total there are in the world. I'm just curious. Like for arcades, right? There's planning to do a CES booth. I don't know if we're doing CES this year or not, too. We'll see. We had a great turnout last year at CES, so we might go back. However, maybe not. We'll see. I've got a couple other things that are planned at the end of this or beginning of next month, too. We have a very big show. We might talk about that a little bit, too, but we'll be it's kind of taking up a lot of my time right now. Let's see here. Any other pressing questions? Is Sega still a friend? Yes, Sega's still a friend. All of our publishers and developers are still friends, yes. Okay. Oh, now I see more questions. Here we go. Okay. Ruben, how long did you guys have the TAD company working with the iiRcade company. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this even necessarily, but this one was pretty quick. This one was very quick. It's great, which I like when it's quick. I don't have to do a lot of things. Paperwork just kind of gets signed and it's like, here you go, right? We do a little bit about the process, right? So we do actually, I'll talk less about TAD, but more about the process of getting games sometimes, right? Especially arcade games, right? For us, a lot of times we first get the games themselves too, make sure that they're running and working decently, at least on the console. How much work do we have to put into this? X amount of work. It runs straight out the gate. It's great to know that offhand, to just know. Beyond that too, I can check, does online play work on top of that? Does global leaderboards, can they sync with that? Yes or no? Basically, then we can gauge how much time and effort could be put into that game too. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's a little rougher, right? A lot of times it's pretty easy for the arcade round games though, right? So that's kind of how we judge any sort of company too. Not to say that that's the only games that we go after are games that we know for a fact that work. Plus, I know that there's a lot of games that work that you guys don't even see, right? So, but yeah, so this was a pretty quick relationship with TAD too, which is great too, because especially since TAD Corporation unfortunately is not around anymore. So it's really cool to have these kind of games that are sort of some historical significance as far as arcade games go, right? Just as far as the gaming industry goes, right? Like Cabal was a great game back when it released, especially in 1988. It was awesome at the time too. It's still a great game. But then they released more games like Toki and Heated Barrel and Blood Bros and stuff like that too, and it's great. So I like that the company might not necessarily be around necessarily anymore too, right? We license them from the people who do still own the rights, but beyond that, the company itself does not exist. So it's kind of cool to have some of those games on our system. Yeah. Let's see here. I'll take like one more question. Was I hip to Galacticon before Cuddles? Yes, 100%. About a year ahead of time, at least. Again, I know a lot of games. A lot of my job is scouring the interwebs of things, right? So I shouldn't say a lot of my job, but a decent part of it sometimes. It's what I do in my free time, right? I look in my free time. I look for games sometimes. Contact developers myself. I am not the licensor at this company, technically speaking, though, right? Even though I do help out with it, that is not my main job. Let's see here. One more question here. First off, there's 16 Daphne games. All right. I'm gonna have to look a little deeper into this too, right? Okay. I'll take a look at more Laserdisc games, I promise. But I'm not promising they're coming. I'm just saying I will look into it. I already have looked into some of them. However, 16, I didn't realize there's 16, honestly. Oh, this is a great question. Phantom Fiction, thank you. Yes, all 4 of these TAD games are the arcade version, right? So 2 of these games, Toki as well as Cabal, did release on other consoles, right? Sega, as well as, I think Genesis. Yeah, Genesis as well as Super Nintendo sounds right, at least for Toki. But yeah, Cabal and Toki did release on consoles. These are the arcade versions of the game, though. Yes, great question. Heated Barrel and Blood Bros never had a release on consoles, so they were only ever in arcades to begin with. So yes, those are arcade games. So yes, thank you for asking. I always forget to mention that, You guys help me out. All right. I said one more question. We'll see. Let me see if I can get one more. Okay, here. Okay, I'll go back to this. Okay. Do you feel that companies that are not as active anymore easier to obtain licenses for? No. It's almost the opposite, honestly, a lot of the time too. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's astronomically difficult. Sometimes it's a licensing nightmare. Sometimes you don't know who to contact, right? If a company doesn't exist anymore, who do you contact, right? Who did the licensing go to? Who owns rights to the game to? Are 10 other people going to come out of the woodwork and say, hey, this is my game, or I own rights to this character, I own rights to this music in the game, and things like that too. Yeah. Those are always things that you have to be aware of in licensing, especially for games. These older games, no. So this one wasn't too bad. Luckily, sometimes we meet the right people, right? Other times it's just increasingly difficult, right? And not to say that The same doesn't go to companies that are still around, right? We work with a lot of those companies. However, it doesn't mean that it makes it easier. It doesn't mean that it makes it harder either, right? Just all in all, really depends on the game and the company and a lot of different factors. Again, it's not always just, here's a bunch of money, can we have this? It doesn't always work that way, right? I wish it did. That would be a simple, simple world. Trust me. But yes, okay, sorry, did not mean to crack my knuckle into the mic. Sorry about that. I have boxers and gymnast hands, so sorry about that. They crack a lot, especially when it gets cold, like right now. I promise I will stop cracking on stream. I'm so sorry. All right. Jukebox needs an overhaul. Stay tuned on Jukebox overhaul. Maybe we'll overhaul it at some point, maybe. It's a free app. We'll see. It's lower on the priority, right? Just because it's sort of a free feature on the system. But it is a feature, right? So we'll see. It's just not, there's other things that I got to deal with first, right? You want a new UI. That's probably a bigger thing than the Jukebox is right now. But yeah. Love to see Jukebox during gameplay. Maybe. Who knows, right? Running it as a background app at the same time. Maybe. These are things that we've thought about, of course. They're just not things that exist currently on the system, right? So, all right. All right. Moving along. That's it. Oh, wait. This might be a good question, actually. What are the other 2 playable characters in Heated Barrel? Well... I really don't want to say like the names of the characters necessarily because I'm not sure that they're super like PC nowadays. Yeah, different times back then, right? So there is, let's see, there's the Cowboy, there's the Native American, there's the Mexican, and then I think there's a second Cowboy. Sounds right to me, right? There's the blue Cowboy and there's the reddish pink Cowboy. I think is how it is too. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that should be the 4 characters for you too. I'm still baffled by this machine. If you've ever seen a working version of Heated Barrel, please somebody post it on Facebook for me. I want to see it live, like in person working. I want to know why there are two CRTs stacked on top of each other of the same size. I'm so curious. I've still never found a working one in the wild. So just so you know, if you find a Heated Barrel, please let me know. On the Facebook community group, iiRcade community, let me know because I'm very, very curious on that one too. I know what it looks like, but I've never seen one working in person, and I'm so curious on this machine. It's one of the only machines that we have a game that I don't know from personal experience what the machine is like. So I'm very curious on that one too. And I only see a 2-player variant. I've never seen a 4-player variant, right? So just let me know. Anyway, interesting, fun stuff. Moving on, right? So let's end up this show, right? I won't hold you too much longer. It's Friday. We got some stuff to do, right? We got some games to be played. We got some leaderboards to chase. iiRcade Zone starts at 7:30. I'm not going to, keep it until then for sure. So let's get a move on here. One last thing, right? Zhang's not here. I'm so sorry. But yes, one more thing today, right? So I will steal my boss's lines because I can. So our one more thing today, of course, is going to be the release dates of the tag games, right? So we did announce all 4. We're now releasing all 4 today, too. There's still some work to be put into some of these games. However, by and large, they're working just fine, so no worries on that one, too. But I do have a schedule for you, right? So as some people do ask me all the time for schedules for the games, here you go, right? So let's see here. Our first victim today is going to be Toki, right? So October 7th is today. This game will drop right after I'm done the stream, actually. You know what? Do you want to release it live on stream again? Let me just drop this right now. Magic behind the scenes on the server. This is what it looks like when I launch games, right? This is it. This is all it looks like from behind my desk. All right. So Toki is about to go live first on the store right now, right? So Toki is... There we go. Toki is live on the store. It is right up top in your recent releases section. It will pop up there. If not, you can search the word Toki in the search bar, and Toki will pop up, right? Beyond that, let's actually make sure that there's other things that go on, right? You got to make sure your YouTube videos are active. There's a lot of things that go on, right? Because I got to keep these things hidden from you until release time, right? This is a very unofficial, official stream today, right? This is how it works sometimes. All right, so Toki is currently live on the store. Yes, it is online with global leaderboards as well. So both of those are active currently. And let's actually set this video to public. All right. we're good. We're set. The game has been released. It's out of my hands. It's in yours now. Great. So Toki is now available for $9.99 on the store. $10 game. All right. There we go. What I've been waiting for. Really? You've been waiting for that? Okay. But yes, so there you go. October 14th. So October 14th is next weekend. Sorry, we'll continue on here. I know it's been on my screen. Gosh, point the wrong directions. Come on. Brain don't work. So Blood Bros will be next week on Friday, October 14th. You can look forward to Blood Bros then, as well as November 14th. You'll see a little bit of gap there too. Cabal will come out on November 14th, and November 11th is planned for Heated Barrel, right? So that'll be our last one. And we'll see. We'll see if I can get you 4-player by then too. However, keep in mind 4-player online has been announced but not released yet. So functionality there is still being currently heavily worked on. And on top of that, of course, other things, the global lobby and stuff for the online play, right? So we know, as well as actually online improvements to the servers as well as peer-to-peer are still going on, right? There are major improvements already in the build that I currently have on hand here. However, it's not released to you yet. So, it is what it is for now. But yes, Toki is live on the store. Blood Bros will be live next week. So keep an eye out for that stuff. Let me bring back my pumpkin cats. There we go. Jack-o'-lantern cats for iiRcade this autumn. Yeah, here we go. All right. 4-player local. No, it's 4-player online. That's what that is. What happens in the 2 weeks before that? Who knows, right? But yes, these games do take time, remember, too. Just because we announced them, these games, again, are by and large working. I know that for a fact. We've already tested them, put them through the ringer, and things like that, too. However, there are still fixes that need to be done. That's why we didn't just drop all 4 today, right? So I can tell you as well, too, all 4 games from Tag Corporation will be the same price at $10, right? So they all will be $9.99 when available. So do have that in mind. There you go. Pick and choose. Let's kill some spam here. So there we go. Not just... Awesome. I've done it. I can do things. All right. Yes, Toki is on store now. There you go. All right. And that's it. That's all I got for you today. So happy Friday, everybody. Enjoy some games. We're excited to bring the Tag Corporation games onto iiRcade to these 4 games, right? So again, that was Blood Bros, Cabal, Heated Barrel, not Heavy Barrel, Heated Barrel, and Toki, right? So all 4 Toki now available currently. All 4 will have online gameplay, as well as 3 of them will have global leaderboards right out the gate, except for Heated Barrel, right? That's a one and done. That's the only exception to this one right now, too. That's okay, though, too. That game is more enjoyed with other friends, honestly, too, right? That's more of a multiplayer kind of game, in my opinion. But you can still play it solo. Don't you worry. Until then, I will see you all next week. Well, we'll see. We'll probably do a pre-recorded show next week. I don't know that I'll be live next week. We'll find out, though, right? So until then, why release them out of order? Sometimes that's just how it works for development times. That's just really, the ordering is not how that works, right? Ordering relies on development time, not necessarily chronological order, if that's what you're going with. I could do backwards. I can't do backwards. It's okay. Heated Barrel is going to last for sure. Anyway, have fun. Enjoy the show. If you guys are tuned into iiRcade Zone at 7:30 p.m., 8:30 p.m. Eastern, that'll be on tonight, as well as a handful of other shows too. Of course, check out all the home arcade community enthusiasts on YouTube. Be nice to each other. I don't know why everybody's causing so much drama. Be nice to each other. Wow. To play some games. We're here to have some fun, play some games. And let's do that. So until next week, I'm going to play you out with, let's go with the tag games again, right? All right. Have a great Friday. See you next time.